Hey, it's Geoff Keighley for GameStop TV up here in the Bay Area at Sledgehammer Games with Michael and Glenn to talk about Call of Duty World War II. By now, I'm sure you've seen the reveal trailer. Everyone's talking about this game, Call of Duty going back to its roots. But I think a lot of fans want to know more about the story. So, Michael, what can you tell us about this World War II story? Massive conflict, lots of different ways to tell the story. What is the path that you guys have taken?
Yeah, it was an international conflict, right? It touched every corner of the globe. We have the honor to tell the story of the Allied invasion and liberation of France. And we follow a platoon through the countryside of France. You have Belgium, Germany in your hands as you play with the squad.
So, European theater of war, lots of kind of missions and locations throughout that, Glenn. What are some of the levels or the gameplay that we're going to see in this game?
You know, there was so much that was happening during that time, from 1944 to 1945. You have the Americans, and you have the British and the Canadians, and they're all fighting a really, really tough German army. And we're going to places like Operation Cobra, which is the largest bombardment, aerial bombardment. We go to the Battle of the Bulge where the temperature's, you know, -10. We go to Paris to see it occupied, right? It's just a different, surreal world there.
Let's talk about the main character that you're playing in this game. It's through the story of one soldier, Red. Tell us a bit about him and his story.
You know, something about Red is that my father used to tell me stories of my grandfather in World War II, and my dad died during the making of this game, and his name was Ronald Red. So we named the main character after him. You know, Red's a kind of guy. He grew up in Texas and had a tough dad, and you know, he grows up tough. He learns some lessons with his father, and we actually have some of his childhood actually in the game and in the story.
Okay.
We're trying to tell a, you know, more personal story.
Tell us about kind of the research that went into, you know, making this authentic.
We've spent, like you said, 2.5 years focused on retelling such a critical part of human history. And I remember early on, there was a story that we like to share where the further we went into our research, we realized that the people who fought in the war, they're not even here to tell the story for themselves. So we owed it to them and their story to get it right. So we have been on an extensive research. We have traveled throughout Europe along these battlefronts. Yep. We've dove deep into museums and archives. We have a world-class military historian working with us to not only bring this to life in a fun way for fans, but to make sure that the story we're telling honors that conflict.
Glenn, Michael, thank you so much. We'll see you at E3 for even more Call of Duty. Thanks.
Thanks, Geoff.
Thank you, Geoff.
Pre-order now and get access to the private beta.